We just finished surgery. It's 1:10. I didn't anticipate getting done with our surgeries until about 2 or 3 today, but everything was so smooth. It was really a great day, and we just finished the pelvic cavity. On Monday was my exam, and one of the surgeries today was an inguinal hernia, so it was really interesting to get to take the knowledge that I learned with this last week of pelvic anatomy and kind of visualize the structures in real dissection. It was just so cool. So I really, when things line up like that, it just, I don't know, it makes me feel like it was meant to be almost. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone else, but it's just really cool when like concepts you're learning line up with like real life clinical activities that happen. I'm gonna be so real. I do not have this in me right now, but I must. So I'm gonna get through what I can before going to bed. I'm drinking a coffee, so odds are what's gonna happen is I have an awful study sesh because I'm too tired. And then when I go to bed, I'm gonna toss and turn and not be able to fall asleep because of the caffeine. But also, I am fully aware. It's chaotic behind me. My office is a work in progress. Also, my son's room is right next door, so we whisper. Anyways, here we go. Wish me luck. I have my exam tomorrow, and I'm like so behind.
Super hyoid muscles.
Checking back in. It's 10:40. As you can tell, I'm not a night person. Anyways, I've got 2 more lectures to go. Getting it done. I actually don't feel that bad, but I could go to sleep. It's midnight. I just finished all my lectures, and I'm gonna go to bed because I have to work in a couple hours. So good night. And take my exam tomorrow. So. And I got most of my flashcards made too, so should just be able to study and review and take that during my lunch. So I'm glad I got that done. I feel better. Good night. Studying during my lunch break. I'm supposed to be taking my exam, but I don't feel super prepared. So I left work a little bit early to go home and change because I wanted to lay down for like a few minutes before picking up Miles. And it honestly just made me more tired. But my exam, it didn't go as good as last week, but I kind of had a feeling with the content. I wasn't absorbing it the way I did the previous unit, which was the pelvis. This was the head and neck. I don't know. It wasn't a bad test score, but it did. I don't know. I was hoping for better, but I tend to constantly look for improvement and things like that. So I can't wait to go to bed. I still have some things on my to-do list, but I'm not sure they're gonna get done. So I needed to do the Kaplan course today. Like before the meeting, there's like a video you watch or something. I don't know, I haven't done it yet. Supposed to do that, and then I really needed to outline my notes for this week's unit, which is like the brain, spinal nerves, cranial nerves, and special senses, I think is what it was over. But I don't know how much of that I'm gonna get done because, like I said, I'm pretty wiped and I still have to cook dinner. but I kind of just want to like mentally unplug, not work on anything school related. So I might just be done with that for the day and just be home. So we'll see. But if I do that, then tomorrow will have to be way more productive. So then right now it's gonna have to be if I get everything done. So I don't know. On one hand, I'm like, it'd be nice to be done, but I feel like I constantly am like of the mentality of what would help my future self out. What can I do to make tomorrow easier? That's kind of how I think through my actions, I guess, like what has to be accomplished versus what doesn't. Is will my future self thank me for it? If I have the mental bandwidth and the energy to do something, I tend to, just to get it out of the way, because I would rather have the option tomorrow if I wake up not feeling good to not have to do something because I pushed it off till tomorrow, versus if I wake up tomorrow and everything's done and I feel good, then I can get ahead, and kind of think about my next day and those things like that. So knowing me, I'll probably do a little bit of schoolwork tonight, but I'm thinking it's going to be pretty minimal because I think I probably got 3 hours of sleep last night, if that, because I stayed up and studied till midnight, which I showed you guys in the video, but I was drinking coffee until then, and caffeine has recently affected me a lot worse than it used to. And I didn't even finish the full cup of coffee I made, but I literally laid in bed and like could not go to sleep. So then I went and had some melatonin. I don't think it helped. So yeah, I just don't feel like I ever really fully fell asleep. Like I was kind of in a light sleep all night. And then obviously I had to go to work today and take my exam, and it was a lot. But I am glad I stayed up last night because I got through all the lecture material. Even though I didn't do as well on the exam, I know I did my best. So let's go get Miles, and maybe we'll go swimming for a little bit. I'm wearing shorts and a sports bra, so that'll work. So it's been a minute since I checked in. There's been some changes. I don't know how to really say it because I'm still processing. I am quitting my job. Kind of. So the program I'm in has highly emphasized focusing on school and doing well on the MCAT. And I've tried to maintain working full-time this summer during my online course, and I'm finding it increasingly challenging to spend the time on the material that I would really like to, as well as I'm finding myself having to stay up late, wake up early, which is fine, but then I'm not functioning well in other areas of my life. So after some reflection and conversation with some mentors, I have decided to take a step back from my role as a surgical tech. And I feel a sense of relief on one hand of having a little bit more time to devote to my studies. But the other part of me feels like a pretty deep sadness, if I'm being honest, about the end of an era. I can talk about my journey of becoming a surgical tech, but this was never something I wanted to do forever when I got into it, and my hair is being nuts. And that has not changed for me. However, this has given me a lot of opportunities and a lot of perspective on healthcare as a whole. And it's also I reflect back and see how much growth I've had since starting my journey to now. My current employer has decided to keep me on as needed basis, meaning if somebody is sick or goes on vacation or there's a really big surgery, that I can be utilized at those points. However, I will not be scheduled several days a week like I was previously planning on, which I'm so grateful to work for somebody who understands what I'm going through and wants me to succeed. And I'm so grateful for them. This has been such an amazing place to work and to end my career as a surgical tech. So yeah, that's where I've been. I've been just trying to finish up my summer course, and I took my last exam about 10 minutes ago, and I'm finished with anatomy for the summer, and I can't believe it. I feel like I just started taking this class. I've learned a lot about the ways I need to study for anatomy and what works and what doesn't, as well as I am humbled in the regard of there's a lot I still need to learn, and there's so much that I did not understand on my first pass. And as I go into the fall semester, I'm hoping they don't close my anatomy class, because I would really love to go back and review certain things that I felt like I didn't get to fully understand the first time around for medical school. So yeah, I have about 2.5 weeks left at my job before I go to a as needed basis. So I'm currently in a transition period, and like I said, it's pretty bittersweet. It's something I've always wanted to get to this point where I can transition into focusing on school wholeheartedly. It's not something I could previously afford to do, and I know this is what's best for me and my family at this point. But there's something about leaving a career that's helped shape who you become in a lot of ways, and the worldview you maybe have. I don't know. There's a lot about it that I get emotional thinking about losing. But I'm grateful that I still am going to have the ability to assist in procedures as needed, and that they're supporting this decision. It made it a lot easier to go through with it. But yeah, this was kind of the vlog. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys continue to tune in as I go through this journey of becoming a doctor. I genuinely have no idea what I'm doing, but I am persistent and hard-headed, and I've made up my mind that this is what I want, and we're doing it. And I'm so grateful for all the opportunities I've been given and the people I've met along the way. So yeah, thank you for coming along, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.